Listen to your heart. Your heart is never wrong. Always face the truth. Your heart won't lead you home.
Welcome to Soul Wealth, wealthy conversations that nurture the soul. Get ready for an enlightening conversation that will nurture your soul and help you live your best life. Now, here's your host, Dr. Vikki Johnson.
Welcome to the Soul Wealth Radio Show. I am your host, Dr. Vikki Johnson. Once again, grateful and super excited to be back on dcradio.gov and 96.3 HD4 for another experience here with a powerful guest. My guest today is an award-winning global keynote speaker, international expert for the US Dept of State certified consultant with the US Dept of Justice Office for Victims of Crime, a CNN contributor, a domestic abuse survivor, a certified domestic violence advocate, advisory board member for the National Resource Center on Domestic Violence, a 5-time author, actress, internet TV talk show host, trainer, and educator, traveling and speaking on a national and international platform to discuss her life of terror, abuse, and heartache, all while promoting domestic violence awareness and prevention. As the ex-wife of the DC sniper John A. Muhammad, my guest shares the very personal details of her experiences involving fear, abuse, and many times victim blaming. This experience has allowed her mission to be even more influential and of greater purpose. After counseling herself and her children to survive victim blaming through the midst of adversity, she has transformed her tragic circumstances into an opportunity to establish ground on all forms of domestic violence that are often overlooked, such as verbal, mental, economic, spiritual, stalking, and emotional abuse. Her first critically acclaimed memoir, Scared Silent: When the One You Love Becomes the One You Fear, was published by Simon & Schuster in 2009. She has self-published 2 working journals, a survivor's journal, and Dare to Heal, as well as Planning My Escape, a comprehensive step-by-step safety plan. She has received many awards, one very recently, such as a special commendation presented by the Office on Violence Against Women, Maya Angelou's Still I Rise Award, Shirley Chisholm Woman of Courage Award, and Red Book's Strength and Spirit Heroes Award, as well as multiple awards from the military community, just to name a few. She's appeared on many TV shows, including a Lifetime movie network series, Monster in My Family, CNN documentary, The Minds of the Sniper, true TV documentary, The DC Sniper's Wife, produced by award-winning producer Barbara Koppel, Discovery Channel, Who the Bleep Did I Marry, Investigation Channel series, Escaped, The Sniper's Wife, Episode 2, and MSNBC documentary, I Married the Beltway Sniper, and the syndicated TV show Crime Watch Daily. She has been interviewed on Dr. Oz, Oprah, Where Are They Now?, Anderson, Ricky Lake, Katie Couric, Issues with Jane Velez Mitchell, The Mike Huckabee Show, just to name a few. She has been interviewed on many international radio shows, internet radio, various national and international newspapers, and internet blogs and magazines, as well as NPR, Essence, Jet, The Washington Post, and Newsweek. I am so grateful. Don't look at me like that. And excited, honored actually to have on the Soul Wealth Radio Show today my guest, Mildred Muhammad. Welcome, Mildred.
Thank you, Dr. Vikki, which I call you Miss Vikki. How you doing?
You're my sister. You're my friend. And you know what? Every guest that comes on the Soul Wealth Radio Show, I take the time to read who they are, what they've accomplished, and their legacy, because it's important. I think it's vital for us as women to own completely who we are and our legacy. And I celebrate and honor all that you've come through, accomplished, and all that you are, who you are, and who you are still becoming. Like, I'm so grateful to be your friend and your sister and to share your story
Absolutely.
with this global audience here called the Soul Wealth family. And I'm just amazed at your resilience. Our daughters are friends, and that's actually how we met.
Absolutely, right?
I think it's important for us to really own all of who we are and what comes with that. So who or what inspires you, Mildred? Where does your inspiration come from?
My inspiration comes from my faith. I know that I came through all of that not on my own. I know that God had a purpose for me. I just needed him to continue to guide me and put angels in place to help me along the way.
What was that like, though, activating that faith? I know we talk about faith, we talk about God, we talk about having a spiritual practice. I know for a fact there are many women and men listening who are in or have been what you have come through and survived and are now thriving. So what does that really feel like? Not just feel like, but what does that look like on a daily basis? Because from the outside in, there's a perception. But when you're living that daily, it's a whole other experience. So share, if you will, what activating that faith looks like. What does that mean?
Well, there's a quote that I put on my Facebook page every day, or excuse me, quite often, and that is, release your faith, knowing with assurance that all circumstances will work in your favor today. We all know that you have to have faith the size of a mustard seed. The problem is we never get past the mustard seed. We continue to look at the mustard seed, not knowing how big the tree is from that seed. So the mustard seed comes when you first know who God is and what he does in your life. As trials and tribulations come along, then your faith should be nurtured to the point where that seed begins to grow into this enormous tree. If you don't know what the mustard seed tree looks like, then you should Google that. So at this point in my life, it's a tree. It's like the tree on Avatar, if you've ever seen the movie. That's the size of my faith.
Wow.
And so when I go through things, they come at me. I say, okay, Lord, what is this and what am I supposed to do with it? How's this going to help me to get to where I need to be? So in that process of that, I relied on God because I had nobody to talk to. I had nobody to bounce stuff off of. I needed to trust him and know with assurance that everything was going to be okay. Even when my children were taken, I'm living in a shelter. Nobody knows where I am. I remember distinctively getting on my prayer rug and praying and say, Lord, I threw up my hands in surrender. I said, I don't know where my children are. I don't know what this is about. I know this is bigger than me and John and our children. All I ask is that you take care of them and return them to me at the appointed time so that I can be their mother again.
That's really powerful, Mildred. You said something that I just want to frame. I want to go back and get that. And that word was surrender. To live an unsurrendered life is exhausting.
I call that the physical realm.
Yeah, okay. Talk
Because
about
when
that.
you're in the physical realm, then you worry. You are you worry. You it becomes sick, you're just, oh my God, what am I going to do, right? You have to elevate to the spiritual realm. In the spiritual realm, it's, God got that.
Did you learn that, or was
I
that
learned
a
that-
part of who you were before you went into that? Because I know many women, directly and indirectly, who have found themselves in domestically violent situations where their faith is just beyond their reach. They can't grab it. So I think it's important for women and men listening to hear that if she survived that, I can survive that too. I know women right now who are living moment by moment.
I did that. I lived moment by moment. I couldn't get to minute by minute. I had to start with moment by moment, then minute by minute, then hour by hour, day by day, month by month. So if I'm living moment by moment, I am really in the trenches, and that is where faith comes in. Because even in the moment to moment, because what you're doing is this. In this moment, if I can make it to the next moment, I'm okay. If I can make it to the next moment, I'm okay. Now I'm at a minute. Now I'm at an hour. Now I'm at a day. Now I'm at a month. That's a long process. But to get from moment to minute, you have to know that God is going to put people and resources in place to help you. Actually, that's what you need to pray for, because that's what I did. I say, Lord, I don't know anybody. I don't know who you're sending to help me. So I'm asking you to put people and resources in place. You say people and resources because you can have the people and no resources, or
Right.
you can have the resources and no people.
Right.
So God works through people. There is no spook. He works through people. So you want him to touch the hearts of those who will come and help you, and then ask him to put a word in their mouth so that they will know God sent that person.
That's
Because
awesome.
everybody who says I'm a help, they say I got you, when actually they will drop you.
Yeah, that's important. People and resources
In place to help
when
me.
you're in a situation and only God can really deliver you from that. Your prayer, listen, y'all, is for people and resources with confirmation, some kind of evidence that God sent them.
Right.
That's powerful, and that's great to know. And if you are in a situation like this, we're going to share at the end how you can connect with Mildred, but I just want to pull out of you in this short time that I have you here. What has been one of your greatest lessons thus far in your life that has caused you to pivot?
You should have sent me these questions before I got here.
No. I don't want you. I want you to speak from your heart. I didn't want you to
pivot.
prepare for it. Yeah, I want it to be as organic as it is. What is called just a lesson? Name one. I know you have many. You said surrender was one of them. That's a lesson. We have to learn that. But share another one.
I learned to trust my intuition. I learned to believe in myself before I believe in other people. I learned to turn off the opinions of others and know that the opinion of myself is more important than the opinion of others of me.
That's great.
And so I don't need to be validated by anyone outside of me.
That's powerful. That's powerful. Trust your intuition. Trust your gut. I had another guest earlier, Jamila White, her whole conversation was about intuition. It's powerful. It's important. It's actually necessary, especially for us as women.
Yeah, but you got to listen to it.
You have to listen to it.
You got to listen to it. You
and
can't
you know
go
what she
with
said? She said, if you know, then you don't need your intuition. And most of the times when you activate your intuition, it's because you don't know, but you trust what you know. That's powerful because that I see from the outside looking in a bit, that's what got you to where you are. Trust your intuition. That is so powerful to be able to not only move yourself forward, but to bring 3 beautiful children forward with you. And that's one of the things that I admire about you is your relationship with your children. And I know what they mean to you. That is just really a beautiful thing. What are you grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that I got my children back and that we are healed from all of the trauma that we experienced. I'm also grateful that I'm in a position to help other people, because coming through something like that, you either shrink away afterwards, retreat, or you step up and say, you know, okay, I got it. I know how to help other people, and that's what I'm going to do. And so that's what I do. They email me, they find me on Facebook, Instagram, wherever they come from, I help. Doesn't matter. It's like as soon as they start talking to me, my radar goes off. And so I know this is my purpose. This is why I'm here. This is why my life was spared.
And having that awareness is a beautiful, powerful thing. And for you to be able to take such a traumatic experience and chapter in your life and turn it into this powerful tool of healing and advocacy and support for others, I really think is a beautiful thing. Share with us a defining moment for you that has really shaped now where you're going. Because frequently when we have a story, when we have a past, and if you're living out that story publicly, that adds another layer to it. Can you share some defining moments for you that are now shaping what you're doing? Like, what drives you now?
Helping other people. I mean, I can't think of anything else.
Does that come from not having the help immediately that you needed? Like where is that seed coming from? I know for me, I am who I am to other women because I did not have somebody like me. When I was in my most broken place in life, I didn't have a Vikki Johnson, right? I didn't have a Mildred Muhammad to go to. So that now motivates and inspires me to be that for other women. Did that trauma, that experience, and anything after that, did it change you? And if so, how?
So, having a hard time with that question.
Why?
Mostly because I'm sitting here trying to think of what it is, and I'm having difficulty with that question because when I was going through that, number one, I was just trying to stay alive. Number two, I was trying to find my children. It wasn't about being brave. It wasn't about being courageous. It wasn't about any of that. And so once I came through that, I thought about in the process, well, how or what am I to do to help other people? And once I was done with my trauma and how I was going to get through that, then I had to ask my children, I need your permission to talk about your dad. I didn't just go out and do it because he's their dad, and I didn't want to step on their emotions and just do my thing without considering how it would affect them. And so once they gave me their blessings and just, you do you, Mom, just tell the truth, then it became, how am I going to do that? And what is the process of making that happen? And as time went along, trial and error, then I got to where I am.
That's beautiful, Mildred. I'm sitting here like, why did she say she's having difficulty with that question? I want to hear what's in your heart.
Well,
right?
That's it, right?
And that's a beautiful thing. There is no no framed response. Like the questions I am asking I'm digging in your heart on purpose because that's what we need more of. That authenticity, that oil, that life, that love, that wisdom is what it is. And I think it's really special that you asked your children for their permission to talk about their father, because many times when we are in our story and getting ready to talk about our story, we don't consider how that choice impacts the other people who we love or who will be directly affected by what we share. And so to me, that is a powerful defining moment that this is not just my story.
Yeah, I am careful of everything that I say. I don't just go from the hip. I don't do that.
I understand that.
And when I'm talking, here's a tip for me, for those speaking to women in trauma as well as men.
Share some of those, please.
They tend to hide or summarize their emotions. When I'm speaking before an audience, I do not cry. I do not cry. I do not well up. I do not drop a tear. I do not. Because there are people in that audience that came there to hear a word that would penetrate their hearts, to ignite a fire that will cause them to leave, will give them the courage to stand up, and will help them in their process. As soon as I cry, I lose credibility. I lose them because they're thinking she's no better than me. Why am I listening to her? She's just as bad as I am. I can't get any help here, and they'll leave the room. Can't do that. I know it's tempting, and I tell other speakers that I know it's tempting. I know you think I need to be emotional. I just got to show them my authenticity. I got to be real. Not that real. It's not about you. You're the vessel that God is using. He's putting words in your mouth. He's putting his essence inside of you so that when you speak, those words will penetrate the hearts of the people in the audience. And that is your mission. That is my mission. So I can't cry when I'm speaking. It does not help anybody in that audience for me to do that.
I think it's an amazing thing that you know that about the space that you're in. That's how you master your purpose.
Right.
And for you to understand that experientially.
I've even been in an audience where other speakers were speaking and they were crying. And I've heard the women in the audience say that. And I said, not going to do that one.
That's why you're called to do it. And other people are not. Listen, I want to ask you a couple more questions. One, what legacy do you want to leave? And you're already living your legacy. Like, congratulations. You just recently received a proclamation.
I did.
And talk about that. Take 30 seconds to brag about that, because, you are a walking, living, breathing example of God turning ashes into beauty. Just own that. Just take it in. Just take a deep breath.
I received.
But congratulations on your proclamation. Share a little bit. What was that about?
Well, when I got the call that Council Member Jolene Ivey was awarding me a proclamation, I had to call a couple of people and ask, what is a proclamation? Because
you didn't know.
I didn't know what it was. So that was amazing. I'm still gleaming off of that one. But the ceremony, it was a ceremony, it was all of that, and I wasn't expecting any of that, and it was just amazing.
That's so great.
I mean, it was great.
You get to have some amazing moments now. You've had enough traumatic moments and sad and fearful moments. And
right.
The beauty of now this course that you're on is you now get to enjoy your joy.
Absolutely.
Right? You've
Yes,
cried
ma'am.
enough tears.
Absolutely.
And it's your turn to be honored and to be celebrated and
I
to
appreciate
be
it.
elevated.
I appreciate it.
I mean, the victim blaming that you talk about, the victim shaming, all of those things that you've survived. This is just so amazing to watch the ship turn, the tables turn,
Right.
and you now be honored because
I'm
your
happy about
journey
that.
is worthy of being honored
Yes,
and
ma'am.
acknowledged. And I'm just so excited for you and for what's to come.
Right.
For what's to come. I even think back often when I got you.
Right.
Back in
You got me good. You got me good. And
2013, I
Taliba was a
believe.
part of it too.
I
said,
know.
well, how did you not
That
tell
was so sweet. to
First
be
time
able
I
to
cried in
surprise
public,
you.
I said, "Oh my God, I can't even hold the tears in." You got me. You got me.
But you weren't
got
there
me.
to speak. See?
Right. You got
You
me.
were there to receive.
Right.
And I still think about that and just blush because it was so great to be able to get you, to
You
be able
got
to
me.
say, I see you.
You did.
And frequently, that's what we want. We just want people to see us. We just want to be heard. We just want to be understood. So how can our listeners connect with you if there are women and men? Because it happens to both women and men.
Right.
If women and men or men want to reach out to you to get support, to connect with you, to buy your book, to honor you, how can they reach you? Where can we find you on social media and online?
Well, the best place to contact me would be through my website. It's the easiest. And that's MildredMuhammad.com. Muhammad is MUHAMMAD.com.
And it's the same on all social media?
It is.
Mildred Muhammad. Thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
for being here on the Soul Wealth Radio Show.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful to our daughters, Taliba
Yeah.
and Mariah.
Right.
Shout out Selena and John.
Right.
But our daughters and their friendship and how God used that to orchestrate our sistership
Right.
and our connection. And I'm blessed by it, for it. I cheer for you. I celebrate you. I love you. I
love
honor
too.
you. And I'm just so glad that you and your publicist, AJ, in the studio, hey girl, were able to come back. So just thank you for this moment that I believe is going to change somebody's life. Listen, you've been listening to the Soul Wealth Radio Show here on dcradio.gov and 96.3 HD4. I am your host, Dr. Vikki Johnson. I invite you to visit my website, Vikki, Vikki, Johnson.com, where you can find my latest book, Soul Wealth, Finding Vision, Compassion, Authenticity, Abundance, and Legacy in the midst of chaos. Soul wealth is your birthright. So listen, everybody, go out, live full so you can die empty. Until next time, peace.
You've been listening to Soul Wealth, wealthy conversations that nurture the soul with Dr. Vikki Johnson. Soul Wealth is not just a brand, it's a lifestyle of vision, compassion, authenticity, abundance, and legacy created one conversation, one choice at a time. For more information, visit VikkiJohnson.com or click on Soul Wealth at dcradio.gov.